We just learned that Gary Payton II be out with a thumb injury. Talk about his impact and what needs to be replaced until he gets healthy.
Well, I mean, hopefully he's not out for that long. Hopefully he's only out for a couple weeks, which will be ideal. If we can get him back, obviously, he's our best point of attack defender. And so, that's always tough to replace. Moses has been stepping up in that aspect, being a great point of attack defender. So he'll have to step that up another level. But GP's impact on the game is not just his point of attack defense. GP knows how to find and crease in defenses. He's great at finishing around the rim. He plays the dunker spot really well. He's a lob threat for us. And so he has a huge impact. He's a great screener for Steph. Him and Steph has a great chemistry, and so that definitely has a big impact on our team. It has a big impact on the rotations. I think there's been so much chatter about JK and what he need to do and how he need to find his lane and this, that, and the other. And what I would say with GP being out is if I'm Jonathan Kuminga, forget what everybody's talking about. Forget what everybody's saying. If I'm Jonathan Kuminga right now, I'm saying, GP, I want to guard the best guard when I come in the game. I want to be the point of attack defender. I'm going to hawk this guard. I'm going to change the momentum of the game. I'm going to embrace that because we know he can score, right? Like we know what he's capable of on the offensive end. Imagine him embracing that role and saying, I'm guarding the best defender. I'm picking up full. I'm going to work myself to exhaustion because I'm going to defend so hard. Like, that's how you win championships. And so if I'm Jonathan Kuminga, that's my mindset. And I think he's more than capable of being that and doing that. And if he does, golly, changes everything.
I've been saying that if he can take, a piece of angriness, right? He needs to be angry on the defensive end, but also be able to be that bridge between you and Jimmy. And from what I'm hearing from you is really he should be the connective tissue, the starting point, right? He should be the weak side block guy. He should be, taking the challenge. And, I've been saying this all year is Kuminga takes that next level when he decides that he wants to be Defensive Player of the Year. Mm-hmm. Right? Because he has the capabilities of doing that. He also has the offense to do that, and his defense is going to be his best offense. And I think it'll open up the world of events for him. Jimmy's return to Miami didn't go as planned, as we saw. But it seemed like the environment in Miami wasn't, I wouldn't say it wasn't so tough, but, you just never know going home. What was the biggest takeaway from that Heat game? Because I know it was a lot of pressure for him and just a lot of pressure for y'all to want to win that game, and just the way they've been playing, it wouldn't seem, the environment wouldn't seem tough, but I want you to describe what it was like.
The atmosphere was actually cool. It was actually one of the best atmospheres I've ever seen at a Miami game. Usually when you play in Miami, the start of the game, the stands are half filled. The whole third quarter, the stands are half filled. People come back in the fourth quarter when the club's closed in the arena. That's usually how the Miami games are. People were in their seats for this game, which I found very interesting. To me, it sounded like their crowd was a little confused. It sounded like they felt like they were supposed to be booing Jimmy.
But he got so much love.
There's so much love there. And so it wasn't quite the amount of boos that you thought, with how the whole situation played out that there would be. But quite honestly, I don't think there should have been a million boos because at the end of the day, Jimmy has had an opportunity to leave in free agency or go into free agency, and he decided to sign an extension and stay with the team. Every year, people continue to ask, they're going to bring in Damian Lillard. They're going to bring in Giannis Antetokounmpo. They're going to bring in this person. They're going to bring in that person to double down and help Jimmy take this team to a championship. That never happened. And so at a certain point, Jimmy's in year 14. He's given them 7 years of his career. At a certain point, you just got to appreciate what somebody's given and just, like, they move on, and it is what it is. And saying that people aren't always rational, and it is what it is. But I do think the environment was cool. It wasn't one of the toughest environments, but what did not help is that they turned into a bunch of Steph Currys out there. Like they shot 18 for 25 from three, BD. That's unheard of.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy numbers. And then, you know what, I'm watching the game and I'm like, damn, dude, you miss Wig,
Yeah.
right? You know, talk about how weird, or just like playing against Wiggins, but he played good. He made timely shots. Same thing as we know him for with Dub Nation. You know, speak to that.
It was weird. You've gone to war with the guy for the last, 5 years and won championship, built a relationship. My kids cried when they found out Wiggs was gone because his kids and my kids have a great relationship. And they cried when they found out he was gone. I told Wiggs, I was like, man, because I saw him obviously right after the trade deadline and All-Star break. And I was like, Wiggs, man, my kids was crying when they found out that your girls were gone. He was like, bro, that's the only thing Amaya kept saying. It's like, wait, so I don't get to see my friends anymore? And so there's just so much more than just basketball there. So to see your brother on the other side, it was definitely weird. Obviously, I'm pissed off we lost. It's a game we needed to win and wanted to win. But I'm also happy to see Wiggs play well because, again, the love that's there is bigger than just a game. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy to see him playing well, starting to find his footing because I think he got so much of his career left ahead of him. To see him starting to find his footing, finding his rhythm down in that system, I think it's great. So I was happy to see him play well, although it resulted in us in a loss. But you'd hate to see him struggle.
Yeah, nah, it just felt weird, seeing him do that for them and knowing that, all them shots and all the plays he making was timely.